Well, my mom was an alcoholic. My mom's full-blooded Apache Indian. So now when I'm older, I can see what she went through. She had a horrible childhood. She wasn't very kind or loving or very neglectful. My dad was he was a predator. He was a
He was a predator?
yeah. And that's what I'm coming to grips with all of it now. Yeah, he was a pedophiler. And he molested me for years growing up. And then my mom's an alcoholic. So I was the youngest of 5. And just, the forgotten kid. Just
How many children?
5.
Oh, 5.
5,
And
yeah.
you were rare in that mix.
Oh yeah, and then I had my 3 older brothers, so I had all their hand-me-downs. I just was like not really not special. So, and I was just a quiet kid. Kids should be seen and not heard, and my mom didn't want to be bothered with any questions. So, but I always thought I had a good childhood. Didn't know. Then I married. I was so naive and innocent. I married my friend's brother, who just got out of prison for murder. So I could just see how naive and disbelievable. I was doing so good in life too. I had a daughter, and then I found out years later that he molested her. So it's you repeat your family. But I had 5 kids altogether, and I was married 22 years, and it was abusive. But he was not a drinker. He did drugs, and
He did drugs? Did
Yeah.
you do drugs?
no. Well, he actually, I guess I did. Yeah, he would put it in my coffee. He was very controlling, very
Put what in your coffee?
like his drugs.
Oh.
Because I had thyroid problems, so I'm always tired and sleepy. So he got me onto that. And I have ADHD, and I don't know.
So do I.
Oh my God. It's horrible. But
I didn't really know it until I was older.
yeah, well, girls, it gets unnoticed. But I finally had him kicked out of the house for good on 2019. But he's very sadistic and very ugly. He just traumatized me. He took my daughter, and it was just ugly. He's still like that. It's been so many years. It's just weird. He's just always out to just, I don't know, make me have a miserable life. But what else? Well, in 2020, my son, he's 23. He died. He's of alcoholism. He would drink like a bottle of hard liquor a day. He was every day. Like, he worked straight through COVID. He got COVID, so I think that's probably part of what took him. He was a father of 3 at 23, and his girlfriend, she was in a foster care system, and he snuck her in. She was living in our house for a week, and I didn't know. Then I found out she was running away because her grandpa was molesting her. So it was winter time, and so I let her stay, and she became like a daughter to me. She was one of 12 kids, and they all grew up in the foster care. So her mom wasn't a very kind mother. So I was needing that. We were both just needing each other, because my kids were, and now I know this, but my kids were raised to, I was always put down every day, and my kids, they're still in them. They love me, but it's very harsh. But I didn't, when you're going through, I didn't even know I was in an abusive marriage. But it was very abusive in every way. And that's probably why my son was an alcoholic. My other son, I still have a son that's an alcoholic, and I don't even know the age anymore. I kind of just been, after my son died, everything changed. My husband had turned all my kids against me. So at the funeral, I had nothing. They gave me the wrong, the mortuary to go to. They were just horrible. I had nothing to do with anything. Like, they kept me out of everything. Then a month and a half after my son died, his girlfriend, the mother of his babies, she was in a car accident, and it killed her and their 5-month-old baby. and they had 2 boys that survived the accident, but they were horribly they were in intensive care for a while. Like they'd broken bones, and one of my grandsons came out in a wheelchair. But I was with the boys the whole time, and I was spending my time between both because they're both in different units of the intensive care unit. I don't know. I didn't fight to keep the boys because everyone was there, and I was always talked down about. So I don't know. I raised the boys, and that's one thing I regret because I let everyone else's opinion of me, put me down. And but when they were in the car accident, my daughter-in-law didn't buckle the boys in. So once they were released from the hospital, CPS took over, and eventually they sent them off with another family, and I haven't seen them since December 17th of 2021. And it's like, and I'm very, very, very close with them, and then I had all my grandbabies. I had 6 grandbabies all living in my house, all my kids, and it just went down to nothing. I had nobody. So for a year or 2, it just kind of, I kind of just lost myself. But I was diagnosed with agoraphobia, where for a couple of years I couldn't leave my room, and now it's hard for me to I don't know, I get stuck in my room if I don't see the sun for days. So then I started sleeping in a car, so at least I could see the sun. And now I'm stuck in the car. I've been in the car outside of my house for months. Probably like a year, not more than months. And it's weird and everything. And
do you live like in a neighborhood or?
Yeah, and I have it in the front yard. I'd always, for my husband, I'd always hide in like a box in the garage. So maybe I'm thinking maybe that. I'm used to small areas, or I'd be locked in my bathroom for like all day. But for a while, he got on disability, and so that's when I became an alcoholic. I was drinking all the time, just so I don't have to hear that voice.
So he couldn't.
Just to hear him, it's just so I could handle him.
He couldn't work or anything.
I think he had maybe something wrong with his foot.
Well, anyways.
Surgery, yeah. But while I was in the hospital with the boys, he made emergency court hearing, and then he got custody of my daughter because I couldn't make it to court. I didn't know. He took everything, like he has custody, full custody, physical, legal, everything. I think he was taking my mail maybe. I've always had bad breaks. Like I hired an attorney, my attorney, well, I filed for divorce, and then COVID happened, so the courts shut down. And I hired an attorney, and he took off with everybody's money. So when courts did happen, when court was in session, there was no attorney, so I never got any information, so I was already behind on going to court. And then I had to do it all on my own, and I was still very scared of him then.
Did you have kids with you?
Yeah, 4 of them. 4. And yeah, my one. But after losing my son, it's, I don't know, it's been hard. And he was like so kind. And so my other kids are like, they always down talk me, or like I'm old, or I'm this, or I don't know. It's just, I don't have any place where anyone's like nice. And so I think that's maybe why I stay alone all the time. But I know I need human contact, because it's very lonely and very I don't want to be alone.
You're in the right place. You might even like Starbucks. But have a drink so you can enjoy a little bit here.
But alcohol, it doesn't do anything for me now. It's so weird. I wish, because it used to just take the edge off, and when things are bad, alcohol is like kind that way. But now it makes me just sick. But I stopped drinking. I started getting pains in my stomach, and
I got my Kleenex. If you need that, we got more.
yeah. And I stopped drinking easily. Not easily, but it wasn't hard. And but after my son died, I drank and I didn't feel nothing. The next day, I drank just a little bit and I blacked out. And then
When was it?
after my son died, and then I guess I tried to commit suicide, and I was in 5150, and so the alcohol did. After I drank again, whenever I drank, it took me to very dark places. And I wanted a homeless man to save my life. So that was neat. It was like a whole community they just came, and I don't know, I was out of my mind. And they were just so kind. But it's just been hard. It's been hard.
So what led you to come to Al-Anon?
I don't want to lose my breath. I don't want to lose my mind. I don't want to go crazy.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm alone. If I'm alone, like there's no one. I don't know if I get. I don't know. I'm just afraid of being alone and losing my mind. I was diagnosed with agoraphobia, and I don't want anything else more. Like I have it. I don't know what it is. I can't.